And hi and welcome to our Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's, the Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank. We are back at Rudy's. It is our first show of the spring semester. And make a note, we're here on Thursdays, every Thursday from now through the first Thursday in May. We're on 6 to 7 p.m. and just perfect timing. And we're glad you are with us. Thanks to those of you that are here at Rudy's tonight. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you for being here. We got some very athletic guys that are in line over there. We'll maybe point them out as the show continues. And folks, join me in welcoming Baylor men's tennis coach Michael Woodson, our leadoff guest tonight. Michael, welcome to you.
Good to be here.
I appreciate it very much. This is fun, getting going. So we went through the fall, had a little break, and now we're going again. So ready to hit the ground running, which you have done. 2-0 start to your season already.
Yeah, it was a great start last Sunday at home. I thought the guys looked really good, sharp. You never know what you're going to get in those first matches, and you think about working the kinks out, just getting the competitive juices flowing again. And our guys were locked and loaded. It was fun to watch and great to be a part of. It's the best time of the year. Yeah,
it's fun. So 2 wins last week, and for you, tell me if I've got the numbers right. Career victories number 99 and 100 for Coach Woodson. Milestone 100th victory.
Well, thank you very much. It really is a testament to the program, to these the incredible staff that we have, and the amazing student athletes. I mean, there's really too many to name, and it's fun to see some of them here loading up on some barbecue. And they're the ones that are doing all the real work, and so it's a pleasure to be able to serve them every day.
That's great. Is it? Do you stop and smell the roses at all? I mean, it's 100. That's a significant milestone.
It does go by pretty fast, I have to say.
Yeah.
You get so caught up in the day-to-day of working with these guys and just trying to build the program in the best way that you can. So it really causes you to step back, especially hearing from some of the former players and different people, when something like that happens, to step back and think about the amazing moments and times that we've had together. And some of them are really cool experiences and are victories that go towards the 100, but a lot of it is just the experiences that we have in between matches, going through, guys' careers, different staff members that have come and gone, and you just have amazing opportunities to create bonds and relationships with people, and that I really love that. So it's really special for me just to celebrate those people.
Good. Well, congratulations. We're proud for you and very happy you reached that milestone. How about we'll get to where 101 and 102 are going to come from, hopefully this weekend. That would be big. Let's go back to the fall first. Mm-hmm. What is your schedule when you finish the fall and then you come back and start getting ready for the spring season?
Yeah, the fall was a little bit different this year in that we, for the first time ever, and we hosted it, we had the national championships not at the end of May for the individuals, but in November. And so our fall season was extended for many of the guys, just maybe 2 or 3 extra weeks.
Okay.
And so that put a little bit of extra strain on everybody. It lengthened out the amount of time that they were really training and competing. And so the break was maybe a little bit shorter for all of us. But most of the guys got an opportunity to go home or do some traveling at the end of exams around the 15th or so of December and have a couple of weeks. And then they start trickling back in after Christmas around the new year. And, for the last every year since I've been here, we've done a preseason trip, and it's really evolved over the last few years to going to Indian Wells. And so we spent 5 days out at Indian Wells training at the Vintage Club. Paula Hurd's so gracious with and so hospitable with having us and taking great care of us and giving us a balance of experiences and team bonding activities and just a lot of training, on the court and in the gym.
What a great start. I mean, that is something really cool that you do. Like you said, every year to kind of kickstart things and get you going for the spring.
It really is. I mean, they're not in classes yet, so they can be totally focused on their tennis and each other, and they spend a lot of quality time together, just trying to move themselves forward, but move the team forward. And tennis being such an individual sport, and what they're used to, coming together as a team and what they're about to endure, in the spring is so different from the fall. So they really do need to turn their attention to to their peers, to their teammates, their brothers, and put them in front of themselves. And so it's a process that tennis players have to go through, but I mean, we have a really special group of guys, and I think that setting is just such an amazing one for them, and really all of the experiences that they get to have out there really set us up well. I mean, they come back here in a great frame of mind, really excited to start the season.
Is there a lot of tennis out there, or is it more doing things away from tennis, just team bonding?
I would say it is definitely a lot of tennis still.
Okay.
We're playing most of the days. We're playing a couple times a day. So maybe 4 or 5 hours on the court. Using some time on the gym. Yeah, it's a lot of tennis. But it's so nice there that when you wake up in the morning, you get out on. It's light out before 7, and we get out on the court at 7, and it's a crisp 55 degrees and no wind. It feels nice. By 8, it's 65 and perfect out there. And so we kind of got most of our training in maybe by 3 or so, and then we were able to do some different team activities. Went up the mountain, did some, went to a hockey game, had some dinners and some different things like that. So it was really nice.
Very cool. As you look back on it, first time ever to have the singles and doubles in the fall separate from the team, which is coming up in the spring. As you look back on it, is it too early to ask you, did you like it? Is it good? Would you like to continue? You got any tweaks you'd like to see?
Being on the operating committee, for ITA, which is the governing body of college tennis, we've had to already have these conversations, and it does feel a little bit early because we want to kind of see how the team season shakes out. Are we going to all play clinch more often, meaning not play to 7 points? I mean, there's a lot of implications on individual rankings that are maybe not as important anymore when they're playing mostly to qualify for NCAAs. Well, that's past us, and now it really is more focused on the team, and maybe some decisions are going to be made that are a little bit different. We don't know until we experience it and kind of go through 1 year feeding into the next fall. But I thought it was positive. I thought of course we're biased being the hosts, but I really thought it was well received by the student athletes and the coaches. And there was some hesitation early on, but I'm a believer in it, and hopefully if it continues on this path, it will no longer be a pilot anymore. It'll be something we can do every year.
Good. The feedback you got from peer coaches, was that pretty favorable?
It was very favorable. Okay. Just even the statistics of how many guys pulled out. The problem with having it in May, the day after the team finishes, is it becomes a bit of an afterthought. The best players are typically on the best teams too. They've had a long season. They either just won the national championship, or there's some real disappointment from losing, and then they have to roll back out there. Maybe if they're going to make a real run at it, 8, 9, 10, 11 days in a row of competition, and that's too much to ask for these student athletes. And so we had 14 withdrawals from singles last year, and we went all the way through the doubles withdrawal list, alternate list, which was 10 on a draw of 32. That's too many. And so this year, certainly there's a couple guys that either took the fall off or didn't come here until January that may have factored into NCAAs. But we had no withdrawals on the men's side, only 2 due to injury on the women's side. And so I think that's, those that are playing the pathway are committed, and I love that for our sport.
Very cool. And remind people, Baylor's hosting. This is, I know Jerry brought this up earlier, Jerry Hill, but I think we need a sign on the outskirts of town that says, "Welcome to Tennis Town." And we call Waco Tennis Town because think of all the events, the huge events that we're hosting this year, and there's plenty more coming up in the spring. This is Tennis Town.
I completely agree.
Let's do that. Let's
make that happen. We should just make it official.
I don't know. Jackie, open your checkbook and let's buy those signs, all right, on the outskirts of town.
She'd be happy to do that.
Right. I think that would be so cool. What if the teams are coming in and the sign says, "Welcome to Tennis Town"? It's cool. Everybody would like it.
I totally agree.
Who would not like it? What city, what school would not like that?
There's probably some people up in Fort Worth or maybe down in Austin that might feel differently about
I gotcha. Okay, good. Let's do it before Monday then. That's great. All right, Michael Woodson, our guest, as we begin our spring season of the Baylor Coaches Show. It's presented by Central National Bank. As always, Central National Bank, your leading independent bank. We'll continue with Coach Woodson talking Baylor men's tennis right after this. Okay. Yeah, they would not like it. It's another reason to do it.
woods. I got to this hidden campsite only it could reach, Hey, what about you?
Nice. I hooked up the boat to the tundra and hit up the lake. Towed it like a pro. Had the whole lake to ourselves.
Oh, sweet. Wait, hey, did I mention I went rock climbing too? Mm-hmm. Thanks to the Tacoma's crawl control. I didn't even break a sweat getting up to the spot.
Oh, well, I hit some pretty rough terrain myself. The tundra handled it no problem with all that torque. The best part was pulling my buddy's camper through the mud like it was nothing.
Well, speaking of mud, I was kicking it up all weekend. And my Tacoma didn't even flinch.
Well, sounds like we both had fun weekends.
Mine was better.
Whatever fun looks like to you, the Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are ready for it. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Waco, the Baylor Coaches Show presented by Central National Bank. Glad to be back at our home away from home, Rudy's. We love coming here. Rudy's a proud sponsor of Baylor Athletics. Be sure to stop by your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com for some real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, and Rudy's signature sauce. Don't forget, Rudy's serves breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. And continuing with Coach Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach. And I mentioned this earlier, they were in line at the time, but you've got most, if not all, of your team here. Bob Barrett's suggestion was, could you have these guys to stand up and you introduce them? This didn't work real well on radio. Maybe it does, or TV. But for the folks here in the audience, just introduce everybody.
I'd be happy to.
Good,
guys, can
thanks.
you stand up real quick, please?
Nice.
Okay, well, everybody's here. I think one might have just run to the restroom, so we'll catch him last.
Okay.
Back left is our most recent addition. This is Alex Krita from Romania.
Raise a hand.
Raise your hand, Alex.
Yeah, there he is. Okay.
He is an international graduate transfer, so he's going to be our second great Romanian at Baylor.
Love it.
So we're excited to have him here
Welcome,
with us.
Alex.
Next to him, raise your hand, Luke Koenig. Luke's a junior from South Africa. In front of them is Oscar Brostrom-Poulsen, a senior transfer from Middle Tennessee State that hails from Denmark. Next to him is Justin Braverman, is a senior from Naples, Florida. Justin, raise your hand. Thank you. Quentin Van Veek, Q we call him, from Curacao. That's probably a new one for most of you. He's a senior transfer from Nebraska, Omaha, and Davenport. In the very back, Imran Daniel Hasley is from Malaysia, so really going far away there. He is a lefty sensation on his way to the top. In front of him is a sophomore from England, Louis Bowden. And next to him is a sophomore from South Africa, Devin Badenhorst. In the very front here is Luis Jose Nakamine. We call him LJ. It turns out his nickname is Naka around the world. So next to him is Marko Milodinovic. He's from Belgrade, Serbia, senior captain, along with Oscar. Next to him is Zsombor Veltz. Raise your hand, Z. A junior from Hungary in my wonderful long sleeve. And then next to him is a junior from Frisco, Texas, Armand Zamani. Raise your hand, Armand. So that's everybody on the team.
Nice. Welcome, guys. We appreciate it. I think we've got the Big 12 Player of the Week in that group, right?
We do. That's Devin in the back.
Devin, congratulations on that. 3-0 last weekend. Big 12 Player of the Week, we're saying. So congratulations on that award. Very good. Very nice. Good group. And you are off to a 2-0 start. And 2 significant matches coming up the next few days. Tomorrow, 12:30, it will be number 4 Wake Forest. And then Monday evening at 6 p.m. 6 p.m., right?
Yes.
Monday at 6 will be number 2 TCU, the defending national champions. So way to jump right in with these two.
We're going to dive right in. Now, I think this group is ready for that. We've seen it over throughout the fall and coming into this preseason that this is a roster that can do some very special things. And they've made a lot of sacrifices to pursue the trophies this year, and all the trophies can be lifted in Texas and Waco. And so that's our goal. That's really what we're looking for. And so in order to do that, we need to test ourselves against the best. So to play 2 teams that were in the semis last year or better, we're right there with these teams. We believe that we can beat them. We have the talent and the experience to be able to do that, and so we need to know where we're at right away. So bring it on.
Great.
Yeah.
And again, Jerry Hill points out you're going to play Ohio State later. That's 3 of the 4 Final Four last year in men's tennis. How about that?
I know the only one we're not playing this year is Texas, but we're hoping we'll get them at national indoors and NCAAs, and
there you go.
That rivalry will continue in 2026. So I'm excited to at least make that known that we want to play the best teams, and Texas and Baylor are a great rivalry that's gone back many years. We want to keep that going.
Good. So you'll try to get them back on the schedule next year.
Yes.
Very good. Wake Forest, long way away, not a lot of history, I wouldn't think, but it's turned into a pretty good rivalry, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, they won the national championship in 2018, and so Coach Bresky's done a phenomenal job there. He always has a great team. I think they have a similar philosophy that we do. We just want to play the best teams in the country, and we want to make up our schedule of the best of the best. And so we always look to find opportunities to play each other, and it usually works out. So I think it's a great test for both teams, especially this early on. Good.
And TCU, obviously, really good rivalry in all sports. How many times could you play TCU this year?
5.
5? Could be 5.
It could be 5. Yeah. So and
that's great.
We've done it. I think 21 and 22. We played them 4 times each. Each year, and so it's very possible. It's exactly what these guys want. Again, a top program, big rival. I mean, they'll tell you we're their biggest rival and vice versa.
Yeah.
And so, I think we're going to be battling for a lot of championships with them this year. And so why not get right to it?
Bring on.
Yeah. It's just. I think it's going to be a great test for us, and Coach Roditi does a great job, so we're excited.
All right, so that's Monday at 6 p.m. for Baylor and TCU. You're indoors for both of these?
Yes, we'll be inside through national indoors in February.
Gotcha, makes sense. And this will be a non-conference match with TCU.
Correct.
Obviously, you'll play them during the conference schedule outdoors.
Correct.
All right, very good. So that's coming up the next 2, Wake Forest tomorrow and TCU coming up on Monday. We need to get to a break, and then we'll get to questions. We've got some good questions for you here, so I want to leave time for that. But introducing your team, we need to introduce this lady back here who is a huge part of these two, actually, huge parts of your team. Right?
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
Jackie,
stand up. Raise your hand.
Jackie.
The best director of operations in the nation,
Jackie.
right here.
Absolutely.
Not subjective.
Love you, Jackie. Yep. So thanks for that. And does so many things we couldn't even name them all in an hour of the show. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get your questions from the audience. Some good ones for Coach Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach, our leadoff guest on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. Central National Bank, your leading independent bank, and we'll be back live from Rudy's right after this.
Kids can now join the Baylor Cup Club, presented by Green Eye Associates, the official kids club of Baylor Athletics. Fans 12 and under can register for the low cost of $25 and gain exclusive benefits and access to Baylor Athletics events. Members receive free admission to select events, exclusive giveaway access, and their own membership package. To register your Cub, please visit BaylorBears.com/Cub Club. Sign your Cub up today and sick 'em Bears.
Premier ER and Urgent Care has all the convenience of urgent care with all the expertise of an ER, all under one roof. At every visit, be seen by ER-trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in-network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
Have you gone gold yet? Go gold with Baylor Athletics this season and be the gold factor across each of our sports. Wear exclusive Go Gold apparel from the Baylor bookstore at the upcoming Go Gold dates. To stay up to date on some golden opportunities, visit BaylorBears.com/GoGold. Go Gold and Sic 'em Bears.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Presented by Central National Bank. We are live at Rudy's. Coach Michael Woodson, our leadoff guest tonight, talking Baylor men's tennis. And you know this. You're a smart guy. You know this. When you have your team here and we ask for questions from the audience, you run the risk of some pretty good, maybe deep, probing questions.
Yeah, no, I cheated and looked at them already.
Yeah,
so I know I'm going to be
He
up
has
against
looked at
it
them
here.
already. But some really good questions from the audience. And let me also give you a chance to introduce your brother, TJ, who is here. Where's TJ?
TJ, can you stand up and wave to everybody? Not you, JoJo.
There he is back there.
TJ, my brother, is going to be a freshman here at Baylor playing baseball next year. So
Yeah,
just
that's
moved to
great.
Waco. We're
Way to go,
excited to have him.
TJ. We've been waiting for you for a while. Glad you're finally here. That is fun. All right, questions from the audience. First one, more of a comment than a question. Roy up front says, congratulations on win number 100. That's a good way to start. Thank you, Roy, for that. Next one, which match are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, I'm looking forward to tomorrow because it's right in front of me, but I'm really looking forward to February 14th, the opportunity to host National Indoors at home. We don't know who we're going to play, but we know we're going to play Friday night at 6:30, and it's going to be the first time we've ticketed an event inside.
Wow.
And that's going to be a really special feeling. I think we're going to have a great crowd and a lot of excitement just to be competing for a national championship here at home. I think it's going to be really cool. So that one is circled on my calendar.
On Valentine's night.
That's right.
February 14th.
It's a great place to take a date.
If you can get a ticket. Those tickets are going to go fast.
They are going to
think?
go pretty fast.
Yeah.
You're right.
Are they available now or not till a little closer?
They'll go live on January 28th once everybody knows. So 8 teams are coming to Waco, 8 teams are going to Dallas, and so on the 28th it will be announced which 8 teams are going to which site, and then we'll start selling tickets then.
Nice. Very good. All right. Great answer. Out of your 100 wins, which one is your favorite? How about that? Who asked that question? There's no name on here. You did.
Yeah,
All right.
of course, Marco. I knew this by the second one, but honestly, there's so many, too many to name. I mean, my favorite one is probably 2022 Big 12 Final when we beat TCU there. Just all the drama. Monty broke a gate, had his huge argument, controversy at the end of the first set. Then it rained towards the end of the match. We had to take 2 matches inside, play full third sets out indoors where we had never played, and Matthias ran away with the third set in some of the most incredible tennis that we've ever seen, and there was no video, nothing. The only video or pictures we have are from the last point. And so it really is a little bit special because you actually can't go back and watch it. And they don't have cameras or video in there. It's like a dungeon, ice skating rink. And so it was just a really cool feel because the fans were standing right on the next court. So all the fans that happened to still be there when it was done raining, it was maybe 200 fans, are all just standing right on the edge of the court with the players right in the middle. It was just a really surreal feeling. And I mean, I don't know if Matthias missed a shot, and Sven was actually about to win on the other court to clinch it too, and Matthias was winning so quickly, he just ran right by Sven. And so it was a really special match, and I think it's something I'll never forget.
Wow, that's a great memory. That's really good. Okay, another question from Marco says, out of all the players' nicknames, which one is your favorite?
Yeah, I mean, Goose is my favorite nickname. That's Marco. He has a lot of different names. We call him the Prime Minister. We call him Chef Goose. I mean, he's just a lovable character, and so we have a lot of great names for him. I've actually been thinking about this at the beginning of the year. We really need to have some great nicknames for all the other guys, and so maybe that's an exercise that we can do, because Marco has about 8, and we need some of these other guys to have some cool names too.
Marco, you need to share some of your nicknames. So next time you're on, we'll go through nicknames, okay?
I think that's a good challenge.
Newly minted nicknames for your guys. Teresa Bankeli is right there. Teresa asked, good question, approximately how many pairs of tennis shoes and do players need for the entire season?
This is a conversation we have all the time with our budget finance office, because tennis is different than every other sport in that maybe you'd have a bunch of different basketball shoes, but you don't need more than maybe 1 or 2 pairs, unless it truly blows out, because the surface doesn't have as much friction. But in tennis on a hard court, these guys are playing with a high level of physicality, and so they're really sliding, which pushes the rubber on a surface with high friction, a very grainy surface. And so it's actually probably around 2 weeks for every pair of shoes. So some guys will go a little bit longer, some a little bit shorter, but I would say the average pair is probably 20 to 25 pairs a year, which is a ton.
That's wild. But, you got to do it with the way they're putting the putting the load on those shoes.
You have to keep them fresh. You don't want them running around with holes in their shoes. Yeah. And we've got a little like glue, and we do some things that you might need to just to stretch the shoe a little bit. And guys burn through their shoes in different ways. Some rip shoelaces because they slide on the side of the shoe, and some different weird things that are specific to them. But yeah, I would say on average between 2 and 3 weeks for
really
one pair of shoes.
All right, that's good. Scott Bankeli is right here, into the table. Scott asks, who is the most competitive person in your family? Not on the team, but the most competitive in your family.
There is not a wrong answer. That is the truth. I'm tempted to say one of my daughters, because they're just so incredibly competitive. But I actually think it's Vanessa. My wife is the most competitive person in our family.
There you go.
She's very unassuming. She doesn't like the spotlight. She tries not to show it, but she holds us all to the highest standard, and she is the toughest one of all of us for sure. So I'm going to say her.
All right, very good. Vanessa, who is in the back, way in the back, out of the spotlight. Great answer there. All right, which member? Bob asked, which member of the team is the biggest complainer?
That's
now,
tough.
well, to be fair, I said, do you want to ask this question? You want to answer this? And he said, sure, go ahead.
All of them are just hoping I don't say their name.
All right.
It's funny. I think the guy that we are working on the most with turning excuses into solutions would actually be our Big 12 Player of the Week, Devin.
All right, Devin.
Who was hoping I wouldn't call him out for that. Marco likes to tell a lot of stories that maybe frame a complaint, but he won't just say it directly.
I got you.
But I'll give this one to Devin.
All right, very good. There you go, Devin. And then Bob also says who is kind of a balance here. Who is the number one leader on your team?
Yeah, this is an interesting one, and I'm gonna turn right around and say somebody I was just mentioning, but they're the obvious guys. Oscar and Marco are our captains. They've done a phenomenal job of growing into those roles and leading this team. But I think leadership is so much more than just the title. It's everybody owning their role to their best ability, and I would say there's 2 guys that stand out to me. One is actually Devin. He's grown into this leader on the court, of just showing guys how it's done as a competitor, as a guy that's playing in big matches. Especially at his age, being at the top of the lineup is not an easy thing for somebody to do, and I think he's owned that through the fall really well, and I think it's a lot of pressure, and so I've been very impressed with him. And then on the flip side, LJ has just been incredible as a leader. He's a freshman. He hasn't been here that long, but he just does an incredible job in everything that you ask of him. And I think I can see the team changing in their personality and the way they just go about all of their business because his attention to detail is so great. And so it's easy to say the captains are our best leaders, and I think they're the most put together individuals, in general, but the guys that don't get the opportunity to be named yet, but lead this team in their own way, are really, really impactful. And so I would say those two stand out for me.
Very good. All right, good questions, great answer. One more. Who do you think is the funniest guy on the team? And also adding, choose one. Don't say too many names. Can you choose one?
The funniest event I've ever seen, which would make me feel like the funniest guy, is actually somehow Z.
Okay.
Is Z, Armand, and Marco getting together and interacting with someone and making them laugh is the funniest thing I've ever seen. But the funniest one guy is probably Louis.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Very good. Very good. Would you guys agree with that? Usually, among the team, there's a consensus of, it's his guy. It's Louis,
is there one guy, Oscar? Marco's pretty funny.
All right, very good.
But he's always looking like he knows he's funny, and so he's going out there trying to get laughs, and he's very good at it. But I think Louis doesn't even realize sometimes how funny he is, and everybody's just in a better mood, when he gets going.
That's a great compliment. Guys, it's great to have you here. Good luck this weekend. Good luck this season. We'll have you back, Coach, a little bit later in the spring. Big spring, Baylor hosting the ITA National Indoors, hosting the Big 12s, hosting the NCAA Outdoor Championships right here in Tennistown, USA, Waco, Texas. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Michael Woodson, Baylor men's tennis coach. Take a break. When we come back, we'll switch gears. Coach Scott Drew joins us. When we come back, we'll talk Baylor men's basketball when we return on the Baylor Coaches Show live from Rudy's.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are built for all the fun.
So, what'd you do this weekend?
Just took the Tacoma off-road deep into the woods. I got to this hidden campsite only it could reach, Hey, what about you?
Nice. I hooked up the boat to the Tundra and hit up the lake. Towed it like a pro. Had the whole lake to ourselves.
Oh, sweet. Wait, hey, did I mention I went rock climbing too? Thanks to the Tacoma's crawl control. I didn't even break a sweat getting up to the spot.
Oh, well, I hit some pretty rough terrain myself. The Tundra handled it no problem with all that torque. The best part was pulling my buddy's camper through the mud like it was nothing.
Well, speaking of mud, I was kicking it up all weekend. And my Tacoma didn't even flinch.
Well, sounds like we both had fun weekends.
Mine was better.
Whatever fun looks like to you, the Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are ready for it. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details.
Are you a proud Baylor fan? Do you love prizes? The Baylor Sports app allows fans to track their attendance across athletic events and earn points using Baylor Bold Rewards. Baylor Athletics wants to reward the most loyal fans for cheering on the Bears, so register online today at BaylorBoldRewards.com or download the Baylor Sports app straight to your phone. Prizes this year are better than ever, so start earning your points today. Hey Baylor fans, Baylor soccer season is currently underway. Come be a part of the action at Betty Lou Mays Field all season long and watch head coach Michelle Leonard and the Bears battle against the best in the Big 12. Score your tickets for game day right now at BaylorBears.com/tickets. We'll see you at Betty Lou. Sic 'em Bears.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
From Rudy's, presented by Central National Bank. Central National Bank, your leading independent bank. Let's give you our Baylor Scott and White Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics health tip for the week. Don't let pain slow you down. We diagnose and treat sports-related injuries and provide orthopedic services for athletes and non-athletes alike. Visit a Baylor Scott and White Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Specialist and move like you used to. Folks, as we turn the bottom of the hour, join me in welcoming Baylor men's basketball coach Scott Drew is with us. Coach, welcome to you.
How are you doing? I like this pen, man. Look at that green and gold. I like that.
I know somebody. I can get you one of those. Welcome to you. We appreciate your being here tonight.
Well, thanks for having me.
Good. You recovered from the late night the other night?
Man, I tell you what, it's hard. It's hard.
You're
trying to go to bed at 5 a.m., isn't
right,
it? Yeah.
Right. In bed at 5, up at 9, and struggled through yesterday. Okay, today. But that was the late night. You know, that sort of speaks to the expanded Big 12. This was a game at Arizona and a big matchup that ESPN wanted to televise. So it was a 10 p.m. tip-off Central Time, 9 p.m. Arizona time. But for ESPN, you do it, right?
Yeah.
Right? You don't say no.
You know, when we were coming back, I was like, do you think anyone's up to watch this?
Yeah. I kept hearing from people, didn't you?
Did you? Not during the game.
You didn't during the game. I did, and some folks would admit, well, I dozed off a little bit, but then I came back, and, Baylor was within 10. So that second half was really good for you.
Yeah, cut it to 9 with 3 minutes to go, so really proud that the guys fought back to give us a chance because early in the year we might not have been able to do that.
And the road trip, Arizona State on Saturday, won that game, had to go to overtime, but won that game, fell to Arizona. So a 1-1 road trip out there. And, I mean, any road win is like gold, isn't it?
In the Big 12 last year, 33% of the road teams got wins, so it's hard to get a road win. Normally you split on the road. You win your home games, it makes for a good year. When you win the first one, though, then you get a little greedy. Yeah. You want that second one. So, but really thought we started out right with Arizona State. Really controlled that game until the last 10 minutes, and they did a good job. And that's what the home crowd does. It puts you on, makes you uneasy. And really for us, we had a road game where at UConn we were down, and Iowa State we never really threatened. So that was the first time on the road we've had a lead, had the home team get into it as far as crowd noise, momentum, and we're able to fight back in overtime. So a good growing experience, hopefully something that'll help us the rest of the season, and I loved how we responded in overtime.
Good chance to remind everybody these environments we go to on the road are just so tough, and we need that same environment here at Foster Pavilion.
Oh, 100%. Why the Big 12 is such a – basketball in particular is the hardest sport to win on the road because the proximity of the crowds. And I go back always to Sports Illustrated. They did a study, and they found out officials were human, and they're influenced by how loud and how close and how threatening, just because that's reality, and players are motivated by it for the home team, and the visiting team can be rattled because of it, and it does affect communication. You see that in football when it gets down to the goal line, but we're really at the goal line the whole game.
That's a good point. And you played shorthanded, really, the last 4 games. Yeah. You played really 7 guys, the Magnificent 7, and that's tough, isn't it, to be shorthanded as far as personnel?
Yeah, definitely don't recommend it.
Right.
But what even makes it a little tougher in our situation is both of them play similar positions, and when you play similar positions, since football's still going on, I said if you lose 2 quarterbacks, 2 linebackers, 2 safeties, it affects the way you play versus if it's spread out.
It's fun to see your brother Bryce out there. Of course, he's at GCU in Phoenix, and saw your dad the other night at Arizona, and it's fun, isn't it, to get to be with them?
Always good to see family, especially the older you get in life, the less opportunities you have, and the busier seems you are with your family and your job. And during season, it's really hard to see family because it's such a grind. So playing out there and being out there for several days was nice.
Good. Is Bryce's son named Bryson?
Yeah, Bryson.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And he was in
Bryce's son, yeah, Bryson.
That's what I meant. Bryce's son, yeah. He was in Tucson the other night. I saw him after the game.
Oh, yeah, he'll do anything to be able to stay up late.
Yeah. I mean, that's pushing him. And it was like 11:30 there, and he's here, and that's in Tucson, so they got to drive back home afterward.
And that's a good hour-and-a-half drive, too. So that was, but it's great having family and friends at games cheering you on because you know how tough it is on the road.
Yeah. This is funny. I didn't get a chance to tell you, but we had who do we have? Jeremy Roach on with us on radio postgame. And Bryson's there, you know, kind of soaking it all up. And we finish and go to a break, and he said, Is VJ coming out?
Well, VJ gave him a pair of his shoes, so that's why. That's why he's a big fan.
Yeah,
so.
well, I could tell he was a big fan.
And our players done a great job of that in the community and with little kids trying to sign autographs or give them something. And,
yeah.
It's amazing how far that goes.
All right, here's a question. Somebody asked Michael Woodson, how many pairs of tennis shoes do the tennis guys go through? How many pairs of shoes do your guys go through over the course of a season?
Well, ours kind of got a cheat code because not only do they get Baylor and then what they buy, but a lot of times they come from Nike AAU programs that also send them shoes. So, but they're really generous with them.
Yeah.
And they love giving them away.
That's a bunch. That's really cool to be that generous.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Coach Scott Drew with us on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. We'll take a break and be right back live from Rudy's right after this.
Are you ready for the action-packed experience of Baylor volleyball? Come watch the Bears all season long at the Farrell Center as the team battles to bring home another Big 12 Conference championship to Waco. Secure your seats at BaylorBears.com/tickets and come be a part of the action courtside. Youth teams can also sign up to be Anthem Buddies and join the team on the court before first serve by emailing fan_engagement@Baylor.com.
Oh, this is old.
See you at the Farrell Center in Sikkim Bears.
Okay, yeah. Like they changed out the other ones to baseball and softball on the basketball. I didn't notice that until just now, though.
Our trained staff with on-site lab and CT, X-ray, ultrasound, and EKG. Here, you pay for the appropriate level of care that you receive, and we are in network with most major insurance providers. Premier ER and Urgent Care has 4 convenient locations serving Texas: San Marcos, Temple, Waco, and Woodway. To learn more, visit www.premier.care.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB Your Bank for Life. Member FDIC.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed. Smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
And welcome back on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank. We are live at Rudy's, thanks to our hosts here at Rudy's. Christina is here somewhere, I'm not sure, but thanks to everyone hosting us here at Rudy's. Remember, Thursdays, 6 to 7 p.m. in the spring, every Thursday now through May 1st. Continuing with Coach Scott Drew, Baylor men's basketball coach, we got some questions from the audience for you.
Fire away.
All right. By the way, I love the hoodie. Y'all like this hoodie? Yes. Baylor basketball has those available at the Baylor bookstore, also in gray and gold. And the Spirit Shop. Yeah, Spirit Shop is at the Herd at the Herd Center, so available there. Bookstore on campus or the Spirit Shop at the Herd Welcome Center. Question, Coach, from Scott Van Kelly. You know Scotty always has questions. He says, what is the biggest area you have seen in improvement with this team?
Definitely from the defensive end. Statistically, we were getting close to 100, and now we're in the 40s. So we made a big progression there, and hopefully we can continue and finish in the 20s somewhere.
Yep, very good. All right, next question from Teresa Van Kelly, right next to Scotty. The women's basketball team seems to have a lineup of different chewing gums. Maybe you've noticed, maybe you haven't. Does your team enjoy gum, and if so, what is the favorite flavor?
Actually, I do not know how many chew gum. I chew a lot of gum, but it's always sugar-free now because had too many cavities over the years.
That's great. You've always done that? You've always chomped down on gum?
Yeah, normally it was that or candy, and the weight doesn't come off like it used to, so it's gum now.
Very good. So no particular flavor, just sugar-free?
Definitely green.
Oh, yeah, green, of course. Very good. All right, Jessica Bankele. We continue with the Bankele's family questions. She says, it's a good question. What is your most out there talent, out there in quotation marks, out there talent a player has had, past or present?
That is a really good question. A lot of our guys like to sing and dance, but I think Jaden Nunn's bowling ability, and his family, his dad, I think, has had 16 perfect games.
Wow.
His other cousin, brother, a champion as well, and I think he's the one that's not as good, and he says he'll get 270, 250 at times. So, yeah.
There you go. How about that? Good to know about Jaden Nunn. Now, that's an out there talent.
So if you need a partner in bowling, that's your guy.
That's the guy. Jaden Nunn recently engaged, and Norchad O'Meara recently engaged also.
Big Christmases.
How about That's right. They went home for Christmas and came back engaged.
Yeah, both of them said, basketball really is not as nerve-wracking compared to this.
That's pretty good. That's great. Speaking of Norchad, he and Jeremy Roach, Jalen Celestine, new to the program this year as transfers. Those guys came in, and what Pat and I like to say is when you go looking for these guys or they come looking for you, it's got to be a fit, right? It's got to fit your culture and the culture of joy with your program.
And we've really been blessed as a staff. You were just on the road 5 days with the guys, and we really have a good group of men, and I know our job's to win games, but it's just as equally as important to prepare champions for life, and that's not only athletically but spiritually, academically, and character formation. And you have to have players that want to get better in areas, they want to improve, they want to be humble servants and develop into great leaders.
Very good. That's great. All right, take a break. Back with more in a moment. Coach Scott Drew talking Baylor men's basketball on the Baylor Coaches Show. We'll be right back after this.
Elevate your lifestyle with a Baylor Club membership. Enjoy unparalleled access to our exclusive lounge area located in the heart of McLean Stadium. Membership with the Baylor Club means you're part of a vibrant community where networking and forging lasting connections is as easy as a smile and a handshake. Indulge in members-only events and personalized service that caters to your every need. For those extra special moments, host your private events with us. Contact the Baylor Club membership or private events team at 254-710-8080.
This is Elise McGee with Baylor Volleyball, and this is my story. Trying to balance faith, school, and volleyball has felt at times impossible. Having people around you that point you to God and His truth, I feel, is something unique at Baylor. God surrounded me with coaches, teammates, professors, and staff that intertwine Him in our daily lives. My name is Elise McGee, and this is my Champions Tribune.
Read more Champions Tribune at BaylorBears.com.
The Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are built for all the fun.
So, what'd you do this weekend?
Just took the Tacoma off-road deep into the woods. I got to this hidden campsite only it could reach, Hey, what about you?
Nice. I hooked up the boat to the Tundra and hit up the lake. Towed it like a pro. Had the whole lake to ourselves.
Oh, sweet. Wait, hey, did I mention I went rock climbing too? Thanks to the Tacoma's crawl control. I didn't even break a sweat getting up to the spot.
Oh, well, I hit some pretty rough terrain myself. The Tundra handled it no problem with all that torque. The best part was pulling my buddy's camper through the mud like it was nothing.
Well, speaking of mud, I was kicking it up all weekend. And my Tacoma didn't even flinch.
Well, sounds like we both had fun weekends.
Mine was better.
Whatever fun looks like to you, the Toyota Tundra and Tacoma are ready for it. Test drive at your local Toyota dealer or visit Toyota.com today. Toyota, let's go places. Feature availability differs based on trim. See Toyota.com for details.
You're listening to the Baylor Coaches Show on the Baylor Sports Media Network.
Back with us, Coach Scott Drew, Baylor men's basketball coach on the Baylor Coaches Show. Next action for the Bears comes up on, how about a Sunday game in Foster Pavilion? How about that? Baylor and TCU on Sunday.
Beautiful. You can pray for us first and then come to the game after. So, that's one thing. Playing Sundays is something the conference has started this year. And the good thing is as long as it gives everyone an opportunity to go to church in the morning.
Yeah. I said, talking to Brian Estridge, the voice of the Horned Frogs, earlier today, I said we could have a church service lead right into the game. We could combine the two playing on Sunday. How great would that be?
I don't know if we're praying for TCU.
And tell me if I'm right about this. The Big 12 in the conference schedule, there's a Sunday game every week now. This happens to be ours on this Sunday. Is that partially because there's more teams, so more games, and for TV windows, you kind of need to spread out to another day, and maybe for officials, you need to spread out to another day. Are those right?
I think you answered it.
No, do you think that's legit?
Everything starting with TV, it's a great window for the Big 12, and that's a reason. Second, you have more games, so it allows you to have more teams on TV. If you all play the same day, you don't get as much coverage. And then Saturdays is always the toughest day for finding officials because there's so many games on Saturday, and it allows you to usually get Final Four officials on days where there's not as many games.
Yeah. Like we've got Sunday, Kip Kissinger's here, Doug Sermons is here, Marcus Pettigrew is here. I mean, those are
Is that for this Sunday?
Yeah.
You know this stuff before I know it.
I was doing the score sheet today. I mean, but that speaks to those guys are probably doing games somewhere Saturday, and then they'll be here on Sunday.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So any other reasons that we've expanded, Big 12 has expanded to Sunday games?
Nope.
On the men's side? Because the women have done that for a while,
Yeah.
but I think they're sort of looking for kind of alternate time slots ahead of a glut of men's games on Saturdays.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So Sunday, 4 o'clock in Foster Pavilion, Baylor versus TCU. We kind of owe TCU, don't you think, from last year?
Always owe TCU.
Always. Triple overtime last year.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. That'll be a good matchup for sure. Beyond that, Kansas State comes to town next week and next Wednesday. And then another one of those 2-game road trips, Utah and BYU on the same trip to the state of Utah.
And this will be something different, playing 3 games in a week.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So we haven't had that ever in conference before. So.
And with the expanded schedule, 20 conference games this year, there's no open dates, are there? There's no open weeks at all.
Well,
even a half week.
And the great thing is it's fair for everybody. But as you know, when you play like 3 games in a week, injuries, you lose a key person for a week. That affects things. And, that's where we're praying for health. We can all keep Jalen and Langston in our prayers.
Yes, please do. I hope they are constantly. Okay, so what through the first you played 16 games, I guess close to the halfway point of your schedule for the whole season. The losses that you have, what I keep reminding people of, I mean, it's 5 losses to 5 really good teams, all of them away from home.
Well, I think my son was trying to make me feel better. He said, our losses are all the teams that have been ranked in the top 3, except for Arizona, and they were 10th.
Yeah.
So you look at it, at one point, 4 losses came to teams all ranked in the top 3, and the other ones it was 10th in preseason. So no bad losses, all quality teams that all capable of going to Final Fours. At the same time, you'd like to get us healthy and really start to, down the home stretch, really have a good rotation, have a good feel for what we're doing and how we're doing things, and put yourself in a great position to be playing your best basketball come the end of the season.
Yeah, perfect. I asked you, or you talked about VJ Edgecombe a little bit. Can I ask you about Rob Wright, who has come in, and gosh, he's fun to watch, and he just doesn't seem like a freshman in any way.
Well, Rob was blessed playing at Mount Verde for a team that has a bunch of guys that will go down as maybe the best high school team ever.
Yeah.
I've heard them and one other team from Mount Verde compared.
Wow.
But with that, going into hostile arenas and also every day going against that competition really sets you up for college. And you look at it, everyone on that team that he played with is all doing well in college.
Good. Final thought, Foster Pavilion, Sunday, 4 o'clock, TCU. First full year in Foster Pavilion, and that means you guys are there, your offices, training room, weight room, nutrition center, all of that. Has it been as good, this first full season as it was a half year last year?
Well, it's been better. We haven't lost in the Foster
Oh,
yet.
yeah.
Knock on wood.
On.
So, yeah, it's going really well. So, beautiful facility. The crowd has really done a great job in helping us protect home court. And obviously the games we have ahead of us are even bigger because every game you play leads to the next one, which you have more at stake. And you got to win your home games. And to do that, you really need the home crowd. So hopefully Sunday, hopefully Wednesday, students are back, and hopefully they're excited. I know sometimes they get discouraged if they can't get tickets ahead of time, but if you come to the ticket window, I like your chances of getting in. Matt Johnson likes students in the gym.
We do. They bring the energy, don't they?
Yes, they do.
That's cool. Coach, thanks for being here. Get that order, take it home to Kelly from Rudy's, and thanks for being here, and we'll see you Sunday.
Appreciate you, Baylor family.
Coach
Thank
Scott
you very
Drew,
much.
appreciate Coach Drew being with us tonight. Baylor and TCU next up Sunday, 4 o'clock in Foster Pavilion. Then Kansas State and Coach Tang come to town next upcoming Wednesday at 8 p.m. in Foster Pavilion. Take a final break, be back, look ahead, and wrap things up here on the Baylor Coaches Show, presented by Central National Bank.
Baylor family, Big 12 basketball is here, and we want you to be a part of the action.
About 30 seconds.
Basketball on February 2nd at 2 p.m. against Cincinnati for National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Fans 12 and under wearing their youth jersey will receive free admission to the game. Get to Foster for a big-time matchup against
Sure, no worries.
Bearcats. Purchase your tickets for Baylor versus Cincinnati.
I'll be right back, John.
BaylorBears.com/tickets.
TFNB Your Bank for Life is the official local bank of Baylor Athletics. Find out why more Central Texas are making TFNB their bank for life. Sign up for our Edge checking and savings accounts to earn interest or cash back. With 5 convenient locations and an award-winning mobile app, banking has never been easier. TFNB Your Bank for Life. Member FDIC.
Hey Baylor fans, group experiences are back for the 2024 football season. Fans can purchase exclusive experiences online and on the Baylor Sports app. Baylor football experiences include on-field photos, sideline access during warm-ups, tunnel access during the team run-out, an in-game radio booth experience with the voice of the Bears, a birthday bash, and so much more. There's limited availability, so purchase your experience today at BaylorBears.com/group experiences or the Baylor Sports app to lock in your one-of-a-kind game day experience today.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed. Smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. And
Oh, no worries. We got it straightened out.
a long business meeting that'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
You're listening to the Coaches Show on Baylor Sports Media Network.
Just enough time to wrap things up on our inaugural Baylor Coaches Show for
30
the spring
seconds.
semester. Remember, men's tennis hosting number 4 Wake Forest tomorrow at 12:30. Number 2 TCU, the defending national champions, on Monday
20
at 6
seconds.
p.m. The women's basketball host Houston tomorrow evening at 6. The men hosting TCU on Sunday at 4. Thanks for being with us
10
tonight.
seconds.
We appreciate it. And for now, good night from Rudy's.